Finally, Messelson and Stahl proved DNA replication as a semi-conservative one. Now, we should understand how exactly this semi-conservative type of replication is executed in a cell. Now, when it comes to the semi-conservative replication, what exactly is the mechanism of the replication, or what exactly is the machinery, and which are the different types of enzymes involved in this process? In what way all these different types of enzymes execute the process of semi-conservative replication in a cell? ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು DNA ಅನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದರ ಕಾಪೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಸೆಮಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ ಒನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊಸ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ಹಳೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು ಈಗ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ DNA ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇದೆರಡು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಎರಡು ಸ್ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆದ ಸ್ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಸ ಜೋಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿ ಹೊಸ ಜೋಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಒಂದಿದ್ದದ್ದು ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಈ ಥರ ಎರಡಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ಹಳೇದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಇದು ವೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್ ಇದ್ದು ಹೊಸ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆಮಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದು. ಈಗ ಈ ಸೆಮಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ವಿಧಾನ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಷಿನರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಮಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಸೆಮಿ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಟಿವ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ building a new structure. Now you see, to build a particular structure we need an engineer, like we may need an architect, we need an engineer, and we need a contractor to look after the construction, and we need even many other workers. And all these different people or this particular team will construct a new building referring to the given plan. Now here plan is the existing parental DNA. Now using this particular plan, how exactly a new molecule of DNA gets constructed, or how exactly the semi-conservative copying pattern will occur. Now before that, what are the different types of requirements needed for the process of DNA replication? It requires several, or it needs several different types of requirements, and we have listed out only the important one. Now it needs a DNA template. Now you see, it is something like a plan. Now DNA template is provided by the parental DNA. This structure you can observe double stranded DNA, and you will find the parental strands here. Here both these strands will be used as a template strand, DNA templates. ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ DNA helicase, Watson and Crick explain that DNA is a helical structure. Now you see, to get these complementary strands separated, we should unwind this helical structure. For that we need an enzyme called DNA helicase, which is also known as DNA unwindase. Then we need RNA primer. So RNA primer is synthesized by or the process of synthesis of RNA primer is catalyzed by an enzyme called RNA primase. We need RNA primase enzyme. RNA primase enzyme will produce RNA primer. RNA primer is needed to initiate the process of replication. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟಡ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು RNA ಪ್ರೈಮರ್. ಈ RNA ಪ್ರೈಮರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ RNA ಪ್ರೈಮೇಸ್. Then we need important enzyme here. This enzyme is very important in the process of replication called DNA polymerase 3. So DNA polymerase makes the hero role here. So this particular enzyme facilitate the joining of nucleotides complementary to the template strand sequence. Now the continuous joining of the new nucleotides in order to form a new strand of DNA is catalyzed by enzyme called DNA polymerase 3. Same time there is one more type of enzyme called DNA polymerase 1. This DNA polymerase 1 will catalyze the process of making the proofreading while synthesizing or after making a new strand. If any error occurs in between, so urgent ನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 2000 ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಆಡೆಡ್. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ some wrong nucleotides getting placed. Normally such kind of error will not occur because DNA replication is very precise. Still if any errors occur in between, that error is eliminated with the proofreading of enzyme called DNA polymerase 1. So it will identify the wrong nucleotide added, removes it and replaces it with the right one. And then there is one more enzyme called DNA ligase. Now you see, once the proofreading is done, if any error is noticed, such kind of nucleotides will be removed and the complementary one will be added. After adding, the proper patchwork, the joining should be done in that particular region. That joining of the DNA fragments catalyzed by an enzyme called DNA ligase. Then finally what exactly we need? We need deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate as substrates. So it will function as a substrate. ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿಗೆಗಳು ಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗೆ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate. Here you may ask me, why deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate? Other day while discussing the structure of DNA, we came across the presence of deoxyribonucleoside monophosphates. But here why triphosphate? I will tell you why it uses deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates as a substrate. The beauty of using deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates is they function or they make the dual function. Now you see, during the process of replication, there is a lot of work. You should unwind the helical structure of DNA, you should break the hydrogen bond, you should get them separated, and even you see so many enzymes should reach the location, and you should synthesize RNA primer, and RNA primer should come and bind with the template strand, and then once again it should bring the substrates into the site, and once again it should be joined, and once again you see proofreading should be made. There is a lot of work, and hence DNA replication is a highly energy consuming process. That's why here normally you see cell uses ATP as an energy currency, but here the same deoxyribonucleoside triphosphate can make the role of ATP. It could provide the energy needed for the process, as well as it can also serve the function of a substrate. Hope you are clear. Now here you see, since DATP or DGTP or DCTP or DTTP are having 3 phosphates similar to the ATP, they are having 3 phosphate groups, and the last 2 phosphate groups are highly energy stored structures. So in their bond, it has stored a lot of energy. That's why by breaking these energy bonds, the process can derive the energy required or derive the energy requirement. Hope you are clear. Okay. Now these are the different requirements needed for the process of DNA replication. Now using all these components, how exactly DNA replication is executed. Okay. Now we have studied that length of the DNA get varied from species to species, and in case of prokaryotes like bacteria, it is often present in circular form, and comparatively length of the DNA is less. But in most of the other multicellular organisms, DNA is very long. Even other day we saw that in a human cell, the length of the DNA comes around 2.2 meters, and which is packaged and located in a small nucleus which measures hardly 6 micron meter. That's why you see it is not possible for the DNA to get unwound and separated entire length at a stretch. ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಿಂದ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನವರೆಗೆ ಹೈವೇಯನ್ನು ಒಮ್ಮೆಲೆ 4 ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಿಂದ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನವರೆಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ 1 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಂಗಳೂರುವರೆಗೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಸುಲಭ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಡು, ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ certain locations. Aga, when we consider a long DNA present there in eukaryotes, the process of replication may get originated from different points. Now I am taking you straight away there into the machinery of a DNA replication. Now just imagine a long DNA. Okay, this DNA has certain locations specifically from where the process of replication get originated. This particular point where the process of replication starts is called origin of replication. origin of replication. Origin of replication, or this particular site is also known as ORI site in short. ORI site, nothing but origin site. Now imagine a long DNA somewhere from a particular point the process of DNA replication gets started. That particular point is called origin of replication or ORI site. Now the process of the replication from that site may get extended up to a particular point. So for example, ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಹೈವೇಯನ್ನ DNA ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಏನು ಹೆಲಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ವೈಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅದಾಗಿದ್ದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಏನಿದ್ದು ಈಗ ಡಬಲ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ವರ್ಕನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು? ಸಕಲೇಶ್ಪುರದಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ? ಸಕಲೇಶ್ಪುರ. ನಾವು ಯು ಸಿ ಸಕಲೇಶ್ಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಎರಡೂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿಲ್ get started from the Sakleshpura is the ORI site, the point of origin of the replication. It get proceeded both towards the direction of Bengaluru as well as Mangaluru. Same thing happened there in the DNA also. That's why DNA replication is called bidirectional. ಈಗ ಸಕಲೇಶ್ಪುರದಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಹಾಸನದವರೆಗೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಹಾಸನ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಟರ್ಮಿನಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ DNA ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಸನ ಟರ್ಮಿನಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಅದೇ ಥರ ಸಕಲೇಶ್ಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ವರ್ಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಶಿರಾಡಿವರೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಶಿರಾಡಿ ಘಾಟಿಯ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಗುಂಡ್ಯದವರೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಗುಂಡ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಟರ್ಮಿನಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಓರಿ ಸೈಟ್ ಸಕಲೇಶ್ಪುರದಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹಾಸನವರೆಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಟರ್ಮಿನಸ್, ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಗುಂಡಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟರ್ಮಿನಸ್. ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಆಫ್ DNA ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಫರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕಾನ್. ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕಾನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ an eukaryotic DNA may have several such kind of replicons. ಈಗ ಹಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಈಗ ಚನ್ನರಾಯಪಟ್ಟಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಚನ್ನರಾಯಪಟ್ಟಣದಿಂದ ಹಾಸನಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಬೈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್. ಚನ್ನರಾಯಪಟ್ಟಣದಿಂದ ಆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಸ್ ರೋಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒರಿಜಿನ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಬೀಸ್ ರೋಡಿನಿಂದ ಗುಂಡಿಯಾದವರೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಬೀಸ್ ರೋಡಿನಿಂದ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3 ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕಾನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು DNA ಈ ತರ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆವೆರಲ್ ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕಾನ್ and if once the replication gets started from one particular origin site, it gets extended in both the direction. That's why replication is a semi conservative one. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಬೈ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಮಾತ್ರ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈ ತರ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅದು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ನಾವ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ after now it starts from a particular point called origin of replication or ORI site. Then it start unwinding in this particular direction. Unwinding. Now DNA is a helical structure and we should get this helix unwound, and unwinding process is facilitated by enzyme called DNA helicase. It is also known as DNA unwindase. So here helical structure gets straightened from the point of origin and it proceeds in this particular direction. Okay. Now, after unwinding, simultaneously it will also break the hydrogen bonds between the base pair. Notice, for example, if A is there, you will find T over there, and if G is there, you will find C here. If C is here, you will find G here, and if you locate T here, you find A, and if it is A here, it should be T, and if it is C here, it should be G. And you see, to join GC, there is a hydrogen bond in between. To join AT, there is hydrogen bond in between, and you see, after unwinding, it should also break these hydrogen bonds, and breaking of the hydrogen bond is also facilitated by enzyme called DNA helicase. If once the unwinding is over and if once the breaking of the hydrogen bond is over, now you see we get two separated strands, one with the 3' to 5' polarity and other one with the 5' to 3' polarity. Now you see we get open strands, separated strands. Now you see unwinding and breaking of the hydrogen bond between the base pairs will give a kind of Y-shaped structure from the point of origin, and this particular structure appeared at this stage. It's nothing but a Y-shaped structure formed at a point of DNA due to the unwinding and separation of the complementary strand during the process of replication is called replication fork. Now you see this is called replication fork. Almost appear similar to the kind of tuning fork you use there in the physics laboratory. Now you see this is called a replication fork. Now this replication fork has two open strands provided by parental DNA, one with the 3' to 5' polarity and other one with the 5' to 3' polarity. Now these strands are used as templates. Now referring to these strands, new daughter molecule strands must be developed. How exactly it occurs? Now it occurs in this way. I have mentioned about RNA primer. So RNA primer synthesis now is catalyzed by an enzyme called RNA primase. So RNA primase will produce a short segment of RNA which measures around 10 nucleotide length. Now what will happen? This RNA primer will initiate the process of synthesis of new complementary strand. Now we know that the enzyme called DNA polymerase 3 will brings in the polymerization process of nucleotides to synthesize the new strand, but it cannot initiate the process itself unless it gets a 5 prime end. Now, I will tell you how exactly RNA primer will help in initiating the process. Now, just consider this particular strand. Here strand is ending with the 3 prime end. Now, RNA primer will come and bind with the open strand, open template strand. Now, you see, if this is the 3 prime end, the RNA should be positioned like opposite to 3 prime, it should have 5 prime. That means in the other side it is providing 3 prime tail, and the process of synthesis of new strand of DNA occurs always in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So, direction of replication is always like this, 5 prime to 3 prime. Now, you see, the DNA strand keeps on unwinding in this particular direction, templates keeps on unzipped, zip ಅನ್ನು open ಮಾಡುವ ಹಾಗೆ unzipped in this direction, and it will keep on providing template for the synthesis of a new strand. Now, what will happen? Deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates complementary to the sequence of a template strand will reach the site. So, for example, just imagine template strand as a reading of A, then you see a nucleotide with the reading of T should reach the site, and imagine here it has a G, so a nucleotide with the C should reach the site. Now, who catalyzes this process? This process of bringing the nucleotides into the site and joining it with the complementary nucleotide there in the template strand and forming the phosphodiester bond between the nucleotide is catalyzed by enzyme called DNA polymerase 3. As a result, what happened? Continuously the polymerization reaction will occur. As a result, you see a new DNA strand. Now, this red color to indicate a new strand. Now, you see a new strand complementary to the template strand gets synthesized with the catalyzing activity of a enzyme called DNA polymerase 3. This is the way how new strand get synthesized, but there is a small complication in the synthesis of a new strand, not in this particular template strand, but referring to its opposite template strand. Here you see this template strand has the polarity of 3 prime to 5 prime, but the opposite one has opposite polarity, that is 5 prime to 3 prime. And earlier I mentioned that direction of DNA synthesis is always from 5 prime to 3 prime. It takes the direction of 5 prime to 3 prime. And here you see, that is the case, in the opposite strand, adding of the new strand should occur in this particular direction. And for that you see, just imagine at the early phase it will open up to here, then up to here, then up to here. That is the case. To bring out the replication, a continuous replication referring to this template strand, it has to wait for the entire length to open, but in the nucleus there is no that much space and it takes a lot of time. That's why you see in the opposite strand, where the template strand direction is 5 prime to 3 prime, replication occurs in this way. Just imagine it has opened until here. Now one primer will come and bind here. Okay, now you see, if it is 5 prime, here somewhere you locate 3 prime, then here you see the opposite direction, it will have 5 prime here, then now it will get 3 prime tail. It will get 3 prime tail, and now you see DNA polymerase 3 will facilitate the polymerization of a complementary strand until here, and then it gets stopped. Then as it opens for the furthermore length, you see one more RNA primer should come, one more RNA primer will reach and it will come and bind here, and now once again it is getting 5 prime and now it is getting 3 prime tail, once again gets 3 prime tail, and DNA polymerase 3 will continue the adding of a new strand until here. Okay, so that's why if you refer into the template strand with the 5 prime to 3 prime direction, the synthesis of a new strand cannot occur in the continuous pattern. That's why this particular strand is called, or in this particular strand the synthesis occur in the discontinuous pattern. That's why this strand is called a lagging strand. So here it is called a lagging strand. Where it will synthesize only fragments of a DNA, fragments by fragment by fragment, and this kind of machinery is noticed by a scientist called Okazaki. That's why these fragments are called Okazaki fragments. Okazaki fragments. What are Okazaki fragments? These are pieces or fragments of DNA synthesized in a discontinuous pattern referring to a template strand with the polarity 5 prime to 3 prime. But you see, what about in the other strand? The strand which has a 3 prime to 5 prime polarity in the template, where the synthesis of a new strand can occur continuously. Continuous synthesis will occur here. That's why this particular strand is called a leading strand. Leading strand. That's why you see, pattern of synthesis of a new molecule of DNA complementary to the template strand is slightly different, referring to the template strand with 3' to 5', where the synthesis occurs continuously and hence the strand is called a leading strand, whereas in the opposite strand with the polarity of 5' to 3', several fragments of DNA called Okazaki fragments are produced. That's why here the synthesis is discontinuous and the strand is called a lagging strand. But we cannot keep lagging strand like this. For the finalization of the process of replication, it takes the help of another enzyme called DNA polymerase 1. DNA polymerase 1 will make the proofreading and keeps the replication errorless. ಆದ ಕಾರಣ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನರೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆದರೂ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯರೇ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾಯಿಗೆ ನಾಯಿನೇ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ, ಬೆಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ಬೆಕ್ಕಿನ ಮರಿನೇ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ DNA ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಎರರ್ ಬರದಂಗೆ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. DNA ಪಾಲಿಮರೇಸ್ 1 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ the proofreading very much needed there in the lagging strand. Why? In between the new synthesized strand is interrupted by RNA primers. So now this DNA polymerase 1 will remove the RNA primers and replace the RNA primers with the complementary DNA nucleotides. And same time it will also keep on checking the strands added, and if any error occurred in between, it will be corrected by the catalyzing activity of DNA polymerase 1. And if once the correction is made, newly added, now you see this primer should be removed and the DNA nucleotide should be added, and after the addition these regions are joined by the next enzyme called DNA ligase. So DNA ligase will facilitate joining of these fragments all together. As a result, you see the entire length of the DNA get unwound and separated and used as a template, and both the template will get its complementary strand. Hope you are clear. So this is the way how DNA replication get occurred there in a cell. Now when it comes to the replication, when we consider the rate of replication there in a bacteria called Escherichia coli, if the nucleoid is in circular form, normally now it will have only one oocyte because the length of the DNA is very less. But in case of eukaryotes, it will have several oocytes. And in case of Escherichia coli, replication can be completed within 18 minutes. 18 minutes. That means replication can occur at the rate of 2000 base pairs. 2000 base pairs per second. And when it comes to the eukaryotic cells, now we know that the amount of the DNA should get doubled before the cell division. That's why in the first PUC you have studied the cell cycle. So in the cell cycle you come across interphase and the division M phase. Now in the interphase you have located a particular phase called S phase. S phase. And here S is referring to synthesis phase, and S phase is the phase where exactly DNA replication occur. So in the interphase, exactly there in the S phase, the existing DNA molecule get replicated and get ready with its copy, and hence its genetic content get doubled, and during the division M phase, this doubled content gets equally shared between the daughter cells. As a result, you see, daughter cell will receive the exact number of or the amount of genetic material from their parental cell. And once the replication occurs there in a cell, if the cell fails in bringing the cell division, it will lead into a condition called polyploidy. Hope you are clear with the machinery of DNA replication. Thank you.